here we are, Christmas just around the corner. That big decision to make, is it turkey, is it goose? So I've been doing this for about 10 years now, using goose. And I will tell you, I started by making a roasted goose at home, and it was an absolute disaster. I ended up with this big rendered pool of fat, a very expensive bird that I've cooked. The meat was greasy and a bit overcooked on the breast, the leg was a bit undercooked. So I set about working out how to do it. And this is how I make roast goose. Here it is. This goose is from the Rare Breed Meat Company. You can buy these geese from them direct. If a goose feels a completely overwhelming thing to tackle over Christmas, this is how I do it. And I promise you, it's foolproof and it's utterly delicious. First thing we need to do is take off that neck. I'm going to use the neck, so it's very important that we get it as long as we possibly can. Off comes the neck. Then it's the leg, so we're going to pinch down. We're going to cut around really carefully. And then we're going to turn the bird over, push out like that. Cut right underneath, get as much meat as we can. There, that's that beautiful leg. Same the other side, just cut all the way around, all the way down. Waste any of that meat and try and keep as close to the bone as we can. Pull that off, and don't worry about all the fat. That's got really good use in a minute. One breast there, the other breast on the other side. Stay really close to that bone. I don't take the wishbone out before, I just cut round it like so. We serve about 1,000 customers a year upstairs here at Trinity with this goose, and I've been doing it for about 10 years. It's a lot of geese. So we have gone through quite a lot of these geese over the years. And doing it like this, I just think it's a really beautiful thing to offer. And what a celebratory feast of a bird to cook for a group of people. Brilliant. Now all this fat, this is really good, really interesting for us. We want this fat, so all that's got to come off. So we're starting to build up our pot of fat there. And then I just cut underneath the carcass like that. And then basically I have to separate the two, like so. And there is our goose liver there. You want to very gently lift that out, because that's really important. Don't burst this part here, which is the bile sac. That is coming off just under there. There we go, like that. There's our lovely livers. Most of that we don't want, apart from the fat. That in here is the heart. Really important, so we want that out. That's really helpful. This is going to form the base of our stock, and then we're just going to open this up, because in here there's one more thing that we really want, a little treasure, which is the gizzard, or in French the jersier. We really want that out. nice and gently. And I'll come on to that in a second. All of the gut and entrails, let's lose that. And then we can pop all of this fat into one place, start to process that. Okay, so that's stage one done. It's broken down into its various pieces. Now, very quick to process through this now. This is all the fat, and this part is incredible, and we can use for loads of different things. This is going to go into a pan and just will hold on to all of that fat, and that's really important. I'll come back to how we are going to use that. So let's deal with the legs first. All we're going to do is take off some of that excess fat. Again, we're going to keep it. So we don't want too much of that off. There, I'm going to get rid of the foot end. Just cut round those sinews, turn the knife over, very important. And then it will just pull through like that, and you can end up with a nice trimmed leg, like so. That's that, that can go. Do that again. And then pull that leg straight through. So we've got two lovely legs, two wings there. This is our neck. To process that, very simple. We turn it inside out, and there's a great use for this neck. I love this part. Out comes the neck, and that goes into a pile there that we're going to use to confit. You need to take out the windpipe, so just pull through. That goes into the waist, that one. And then we're just going to strip away a little bit of that fat off the neck. So we'll keep hold of that. Something else in a bit. There's our livers, they've got a great use. Just take off that bit of sinew. There's our beautiful livers there. Okay, so this is the gizzard. So you take the opening through, you cut it into basically two pieces. So you've got two gizzards straight down the middle, like so. Cut down around the silver, along the bottom, and then turn up and over, and you're basically taking all of that silver skin and the nasty part of the skin off that gizzard. That is really difficult. Even once it's confit, you just can't use that, so that's got to come off. And we're left with these two lovely gizzards. Now we're back to that breast meat again. I'm going to take those wings off, cut there. We're going to use those, so keep those like that. That's really important. And then we're going to just trim very gently, because this is the prime, this is the epicenter of it all really. Take this extra fat off and keep that. Those fillets I also take off and use those separately. And then any of this silver here, we need to cut under and take that off as well. Otherwise it makes it quite tough, and that's how you get that very tricky to eat piece of sinew there. Then just trimming again, just trimming that fat round so that it's a sensible amount of fat. And remember, if you roasted this bird whole, you're very likely to end up with very overcooked breast meat, very undercooked, chewy leg meat, and a whole bunch of rendered goose fats. So I'm scoring this, which is going to allow us to render out the fat really nicely. Like that. So there's our prime possession there, our breast of goose. There's our heart. I'll just take the front off of that, I don't want that. And then we'll keep that whole, and we'll confit that too. But an animal like this is a huge investment for Christmas. I totally get that, but if you do the butchery, take your time, enjoy the process, lean into it, have a great time doing it. The satisfaction level, I think, as a cook, once you cook something like this and you've done all that work on it and all the various different cooking methods, it's a bit involved. I get it, it is involved, it is pretty, it is a lot of work, but this has only taken 10 minutes to do, really. Okay, so that is our bird broken down. Feels like a really onerous thing, but actually it's only about 10 minutes to do. What we've ended up with is the carcass over here that we can simply roast, chop up a little bit, roast and make our sauce. All of these components here, so the neck, the leg, the heart, the gizzard, the wing, This is all going to get slow cooked in its own fat as a confit and then used in various different ways. This is exciting. This part over here, the breast and the fillet, that's going to get pan fried beautifully, and that's our piece we served really lovely and pink and beautiful. And then this piece in the middle is a little special thing we're going to do something really interesting with, which is a stuffed neck sausage. That's really cool. But we've also ended up with this, which is a pan of immensely flavoursome, beautiful goose fat. All we need to do here is add about 250 mils of water, put a lid on, a paper lid inside, put it on the back of the stove as slow and low as you can, and let that render. 3 hours later, you will have a pan with no water and just pure, unadulterated, incredible goose fat that you can keep for the rest of the year. Cook your potatoes, confit your legs, make salads, do anything you want. It is beautiful, even pastry for mince pies. But we are going to come back in part 2 and show you how to cook all of this in its own way and make the perfect goose roast dinner.